The city of Samarkand was one of the largest cities in the East hundreds of years ago. It had 3 gates: the Eastern Gate, the Western Gate, and the Central Gate. It was ruled by a quick-tempered and overly sensitive king. This king had a daughter named Princess Fairouz, who was proud of her intelligence and arrogant because of her beauty. Because of these 2 traits, she looked down on everyone, even her own father at times. Her father tried to marry her off, but she rejected all suitors claiming that they were intellectually inferior and unworthy of her beauty. One day, a smart and handsome prince named Khalid was invited to the palace by the king. The king bet his minister that Fairouz would accept Khalid as her husband as soon as she saw him. However, Fairouz's opinion of Khalid was the same as those who came before him. This frustrated the king, and he lost the bet. That night, Fairouz was playing chess with her father. She managed to defeat him in just 10 moves. Her father was annoyed and asked her to go easy on him in the game. They played again, but this time she managed to defeat him in just 7 moves. The king became furious, turned the chessboard upside down, and poured out his anger on her. He said in a fit of rage that he was tired of her empty pride and haughty demeanor. Nothing could satisfy her arrogance, no matter how good it was, not delicious foods or fine clothes. Even kings and princes were not enough for her. Therefore, he made a solemn promise to marry her off the next day to the first person who entered through the Eastern Gate at the first ray of sunshine, and he would never back down from his promise. Then the king left, leaving his daughter in a state of astonishment. But she said to herself, "We will talk when his anger subsides. I don't think he will actually do it." At dawn, the king disguised himself with his minister and set out for the Eastern Gate. They waited there, and when the first ray of sunshine appeared, a chubby and bald man entered through the gate, pulling a wooden cart behind him. The king intercepted him and asked for his name and occupation. The man, whose name was Bilal, said that he was a garlic seller. Then the king asked him if he was married, and he replied in the negative. The king asked him to follow him, pretending to buy all the garlic in his cart. When they reached the palace, the king and his minister revealed their disguise and took Bilal inside. The poor man was surprised and agitated. The king told him not to be afraid and that he had brought him here to marry his daughter, Princess Fairouz. Bilal, the garlic seller, became even more agitated and laughed uncontrollably out of shock, sweating profusely. Then the king ordered the courier to announce in the city that Princess Fairouz will marry Bilal, the garlic seller. When Fairouz learned of the news, she begged her father to revoke his promise, but he refused and insisted on his decision. She became angry and swore that she would make her husband divorce her in less than 10 days, using her intelligence. The king accepted the challenge and promised her that if she returned to him divorced before the end of the 10th day, he would issue a public apology to her. And so, the marriage took place hastily, unlike the usual marriages of princesses. To make matters worse, the king ordered Bilal to take his wife to his house to live, and they were not allowed to stay in the palace. Moreover, Fairouz was not allowed to take any of her jewelry with her, and she was only permitted to leave with the dress she was wearing. Then the king approached Bilal and warned him not to divorce her, no matter how much Fairouz insisted on it. He can treat her as he pleases. As she is his wife and no longer a princess of here, we have reached the end of video. Wait for part 2 from this story, and thanks for support and watching. Please like and share and subscribe on my channel for more video.